Hello, welcome to another episode of Sticky Situation. So we're up the land, of course, and we're going to finish pouring the last foundation footer for the pavilion. I know I didn't film, I did a bunch of work yesterday and I didn't get it filmed in there. I got the other post back in here, and maybe you can't see it back here, but so I got that post right back there put in. The foundation stone for that all done. I don't know if you can actually see it through the trees there. And then I got the one over on that side in. It's kind of behind those rocks right there. We're going to work on getting this all poured today, get the rebar in there, and then I can get the bases for here, for all those three corners, and hopefully get it all done. So let's get started on that. Yes. I'm working. No sé. Tenemos que esperar hasta que todos los demás vienen. Okay, is that tight? Right where it should be? Okay. don't know if you can see this or not, but I whacked my rail with the board right here, and it bent it in, so now every time I come down to this end it hangs up. I don't know how I can bend that back. Maybe if I get a big clamp, squish it together, I don't know. But that's highly annoying. And there's one other problem I'm having. You can look at my boards here. So it's pretty straight all the way down, and then right here at the end, you can tell it gets a little bit fatter on this one. And I believe that's because I don't have a stop on that side, so every time the saw comes in there and starts pushing, it bends this or does something to it so that this flares for some reason. Not quite sure. Maybe it's this thing sags because I don't have those legs in there. Either way, super annoying. Alright, so that is it for today's episode of Sticky Situation. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Got a couple logs cut, big beams and posts for the cross sections for the pavilion, which makes me happy. As usual, anytime I get one step closer to getting something done, I am happier. But I'm finding things out about this sawmill as I go, little things that if you bump it at all with logs, it just tweaks it up real bad. So I've seen a lot of people who use their Mini X's or their loaders to put logs onto these things, and I mean, I don't know if they have the same problems as me or not. And then I've seen other people that build a rack and just kind of drop the logs in front and then roll them onto it, or else have a winch that winches them up and onto it. And that's probably safer, so I might have to look into doing that, where I just build a little rail in front, just a little post thing that I can set my logs onto and then roll them across directly onto the sawmill, because this is twice where I've dinged my sawmill, and I can tell because I'm going along, it's like da da da, because it just bends that rack just a little bit, so it makes it. I don't think that's affecting my cut at all, because the blade's still staying the same. It's not like my rack isn't up and down, it's more side to side, so the straightness of the blade cut's good, other than right there on the end, which I don't understand why it just fans out a little bit, which doesn't really matter because it's the very end of my log, which normally I'm cutting off anyway. So especially with all my projects, I've cut most of these logs at 14 or 16 feet. This one I'm sitting on is a 16 footer, and so that's very likely going to be cut down to 14 feet anyway, so it's not a big deal. If I cut off the last 2 feet of that, it's going to be gone back to the normal. So just interesting things you find as you slowly get used to working on your sawmill a lot. I do know that I put on a new blade today and it works a lot better than it was, because the first logs I cut this morning were really wavy, but I think I was also having trouble with my tension on it, so I tensioned it up to the right tension really tight on there so the blade's not loose and it's not able to bend it. And then I also put a new saw blade on it, so it's cuts like butter until I hit that spot on the rack, on the rail where I bent it. And only bent it on the last log, not the first two logs. It was like, oh great, worked awesome. And then that last log, now it's like, grr. So frustrating. I got to figure out how to put that back together. Anyway, thanks for joining me, my friends, and I hope you come back and visit again. It's been a great weekend up here at the land. It's like 105 degrees down in the valley and only 85 up here in the mountains. So it's been nice, and we've had some nice thunderstorms rolling in because I guess the heat, you know, kicks up and makes it rainy. So it's been a pleasant weekend up here in the mountains for sure. Anyway, thanks for sticking around, and make sure you give us a comment and a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, because we can always use more subscribers, get the content out there for more people to see. Anyway, thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.